My name is Adam, and if I were asked to describe myself in a single sentence, I would probably struggle because I am not one thing. I am a collection of many identities, memories, lessons, and contradictions. I have always believed that each person carries a universe within them, and the longer I live, the more I realize that my inner universe is still expanding. I was born in a small town where life was slow and simple. My earliest memories are of running barefoot on dusty roads, climbing trees with scratched knees, and listening to my grandmother's stories about times that existed long before I was born. She told me about wars and love, about hardship and laughter, about people who lived with very little yet carried an abundance of hope. Those evenings by her side planted in me a fascination with stories, and I think that fascination has followed me into every stage of my life. As a child, I was restless. I was not the kind of boy who sat quietly in a classroom obediently taking notes. Instead, I was the one who stared out of the window, wondering what was beyond the hills or why birds never seemed to get tired of flying. My teachers sometimes called me a dreamer, and though they said it with a mix of frustration and affection, I secretly took it as a compliment. To dream meant to imagine possibilities, and to imagine possibilities meant to escape the limits of the present. Books became my first real adventure. I devoured every book I could find, adventure novels, old history volumes, even newspapers that were weeks out of date. Through reading, I traveled to places I could not afford to visit, met people I would never encounter in my small town, and lived lives I would never have otherwise known. Reading gave me wings, and writing became my way of testing them. I began keeping journals, scribbling down every thought, every feeling, every little idea that wandered into my mind. I didn't realize it at the time, but writing would eventually become my way of making sense of the world. Growing older was both a gift and a struggle. Like most young people, I had dreams that felt impossibly large. I wanted to change the world, to create something meaningful, to live a life that mattered. But reality has a way of humbling us. I faced rejection, failure, and moments where I doubted my worth. I applied for opportunities I never got, pursued projects that collapsed, and trusted people who left when I needed them most. For a while, I thought those failures defined me. I thought I was nothing more than my mistakes. But time, in its quiet and patient way, taught me differently. Each failure was not the end of me, but the beginning of a new version of me. Falling taught me how to rise. Losing taught me how to value what I still had. Being left behind taught me how to walk alone without fear. Slowly, I realized that resilience is not about never breaking. It is about breaking and learning how to put yourself back together, piece by piece, with stronger hands and a softer heart. I also learned the importance of people. Along the way, I have met friends who became family and strangers who changed my perspective with a single conversation. I have also lost people I thought would stay forever, and though the pain of their absence never completely goes away, I carry their lessons with me. Life, I've come to understand, is not about how many people you meet, but about how deeply you allow yourself to connect with them. Now, when I look at myself, I see someone who is still unfinished. I am not a perfect man, nor do I want to be. I am flawed, but my flaws remind me that I am human. I am curious, sometimes to the point of restlessness. I am hopeful even when hope feels foolish. I am cautious with my trust, yet I still believe in kindness. Above all, I am someone who tries to learn, to grow, to forgive, to dream, to live fully even when life feels heavy. If I were to define my identity today, I would say that I am a traveler. Not only in the physical sense, though I have moved from one place to another, but also in the sense of being a traveler within myself. Every year, every experience, every person I meet takes me to a new corner of my own soul. I am constantly discovering parts of myself I never knew existed, my strengths, my weaknesses, my fears, and my courage. The future to me is an open page. I don't know what stories will be written there, but I know I want to keep writing them with honesty and passion. I want to create, to inspire, to love deeply, and to leave behind something that will outlast me, even if it is just a few words in a notebook, a smile in someone's memory, or a small act of kindness that ripples outward. So, who am I? I am Adam. A child who never stopped asking questions, a dreamer who has been broken and rebuilt, a reader who travels through stories, a writer who tries to capture meaning in words, and a human being who believes that life, with all its pain and beauty, is worth living. My story is still being written, and perhaps it always will be.